Good morning everyone, welcome to yet another session of weekly roundup. Myself Nilesh and I will be taking this session. In this session we'll cover important development of the last week. Before we start today's session, let's see what we'll cover in this session. In this session we'll cover 5 main news, 6 quick update and 1 personality in news. In main news, first main news is regarding the Kalladi landslide in Kerala and concern over landslides risk in India. Then second main news is regarding artificial intelligence in modern warfare. Then third main news is regarding third India Australia annual summit 2026. Fourth main news is regarding urban floods as IMD have issued red alert as risk of urban floods is rising across India. And fifth main news regarding Prime Minister's visit to Indonesia. In personality news, we'll cover Dr. Shama Prasad Mukherjee. So, without wasting any time, let's dive into first main news of the day. The first main news of the day is regarding the landslide. As we all know that Kalladi landslide in Wayanad, Kerala have caused the huge man and property damage, and this is very concerning all over India as the landslide risk is increasing all over India. This topic becomes very important for GS paper 1, that is important geographical phenomena, and also in GS paper 3, that is disaster management. So what is the development? As we have already seen, there is huge landslide in Wayanad, and this landslide was caused due to the various factors. Which were those factors? So it is related to torrential rainfall and huge amount of rainfall due to cloudburst like situation. Then steep terrain which actually help the landslide to accelerate. Then highly fractured slope of Verari Mala mountain ranges in the Western Ghats. So there are two main areas in India where landslides are occurring, and those are the most prone areas. The first is Himalayas and secondly is the Western Ghats. We'll see what are the causes of the landslide in these two areas and what are the steps taken by the government to mitigate these landslides, right? So before we went to that aspect, let us see what is the landslide. As the name suggests, landslide is the sliding of the land, but the technical definition is little different. That is the downward falling or sliding of the mass of soil, then debris or the rock, or from the steep slope under the influence of gravity. Please remember that this word gravity is very important, and landslide are actually of 5 types. So landslide is actually segregated into the 5 types. Which are those 5 types? So first is slide, then there is fall, then there is toppling, then there is spread, and these are the 4 things which are very important. And it is also, please remember that this is the fall and this is the spread. So what are the difference between these 4? So as the name suggests, so it is the sliding of the soil or the mass of the soil, and it is due to the supersaturation of the water in this mass. And what happens when there is huge amount of water in the soil? So this soil due to the gravity is coming downward, and this is the slide. Then what is the spread? So spread is spreading of this soil in the huge area downstream. This is the spread. Then this is the fall. What is the fall? So this is the slope, or this is the area, and due to the some geographical activity such as tectonic activity, this landmass may fall down, and this is also one of the thing. And what is the toppling? So if there are these gravels here, so what happens? These gravels come downward, and it is also very important, and it can cause huge amount of material coming downstream, right? So these are the four things, that is slide, then spread, then fall, and then toppling, and these are the very important things. Now it is up to you to write which is the fifth type of the landslide, which is very common in India, and this is you have to write in the comment. Then landslide atlas of India is by the ISRO, and what it says, so India is the among the top 4 landslide prone countries globally. So India is top 4 landslide prone countries globally, excluding snow areas around 12.6, around 13% area of India is prone to landslide. This is also very important factor. And what is the regional contribution? As I had already told you, the major factor is northwest Himalayas. Around 66.5% of the all landslides risk are in the northwestern Himalayas. Then northeastern Himalayas is around 18.8, that is around 9%. So these two areas are in Himalayas, and then Western Ghats, it is around 14.7, around 15% area prone to landslide is in Western Ghat. Right, now we'll see what are the various causes of the landslide in these areas, and why there are huge landslide in these areas as compared to other areas. Right, so firstly let us see the Himalayas. Before we discuss the Himalayas, please understand the structure of Himalayas. So Himalayas have basically these trans Himalayas, then these are the greater Himalayas, then these are the middle Himalayas, greater Himalayas, these are the trans Himalayas, then these are the middle Himalayas, or also called as lesser Himalayas, and these are the Shivalik Himalayas. These are the stratas of Himalayas. And please remember that the firstly these trans Himalayas were formed, then greater Himalayas were formed, and due to its long time frame, around 50 to 60 million years, this area or the greater Himalaya have the rock composition of generally crystalline rocks. And then these middle Himalayas also are relatively old, that is around 30 million years and 25 to 30 million years, and this is also comparatively old, and there these are the metamorphic rock, right? But this is the Shivalik, and this is the most young mountain, and it is around 2 to 20 million years. And how it is formed? So basically this is the main boundary fault. So this is the main boundary fault between the Eurasian plate and Indian plate. Indian plate, and this is the Eurasian plate, right? So what happens? This is the fault between these plates, and what happens? Many rivers from the Himalayas bring the sediments here, and due to these sediments from the lesser Himalayas, due to the pushing of the Indian plate towards the Eurasian plate, these Shivalik mountains have been formed, and these are the young mountains, and that is why these mountains have the rock composition that are the sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rock, and these sedimentary rock are not strong, they are very weak, and they are prone to landslide because they are very weak and they have a lot of sediments in that. And that is why these Shivalik mountains, which are prominently in the northwestern Himalayas, these are prone to the landslide. So this is the geographical factor. You should know this basic concept, right? So this is about the Himalayas. Now I hope it is clear to you. Now we'll see the what are the causes. So in Himalayan region, firstly tectonically unstable, as we already seen that Indian plate is still pushing towards the Eurasian plate, and the height of Himalayas is still increasing. So the rate of Indian plate is around 5 millimeter or the centimeter per year, and that is why this is the young mountain and its height is rising, and that is why there are a lot of tectonic activities, earthquake. And if you are living in the North India, the earthquakes like small earthquake are very common in North India. So tectonically unstable and young and active Himalayas are prone to earthquake, increasing the landslide. Because of the earthquake, the layer, the upper layer of soil becomes loose, and when there is water, so it will create a landslide. This is the one thing. Then loose sediments, as I have already discussed why there are loose sediments. Uncompacted geographical material heighten susceptibility. Then hydropower project, so it is concentrated large amount of water in one area, increasing both humidity and the pressure. What happens? So huge amount of water in the Himalayas in some areas, so it increases the humidity, and also it creates the wet landmass of the soil, and this is very susceptible when there will be rain. So this landmass is actually have the oversaturated water, and it will bring large amount of debris with it downstream, right, and it will cause landslide. And then developmental activities such as road widening, construction, there are various blast for the materials such as rocks and other materials in Himalayas, mining in some areas. So all these things are actually causing the landslides in Himalayan region. Then in Western Ghats, first thing is monsoon. So the Western Ghat actually get huge amount of rainfall in the monsoon season, and this is the one of the reason. Intense rainfall on the steep western side and cyclones on the eastern side oversaturate the soil, and it is susceptible to the landslides. Then neotectonic activity. While stable, these regions have some uplifted areas affected by the recent tectonic movements. And what happens? Due to these movements, the landmass are very weak, and they are prone to the landslide, as you have seen such landslide in the Maharashtra recently, which had blocked the Pune Mumbai traffic, right? Then there are human activities such as deforestation, mining, hill cutting, climate change related extreme rainfall events, etc. So in Wayanad there was a landslide in 2024 also, and almost more than 400 people died then. So this is very common in this area. Then there was also one landslide in around 2013 in the Pune district of Maharashtra. So it was a Malin village. So these kind of things are happening more recently, and here also more than 300 people died. So these are the some of the important causes for the landslides in the Himalayan region and the Western Ghats region. There are some basic differences, so you have to remember these things, right? So there is direct question asked regarding this difference in the UPSC, so it becomes very important. Now we'll see the various measures to mitigate the landslides in India. The firstly, Geographical Survey of India, Ministry of Mine designated as the nodal agency for the landslide to coordinate national mitigation efforts, right? So Geographical Survey of India is the nodal agency, and then there is National Landslide Risk Management Strategy, and this strategy actually talks about how to mitigate landslides, and it is talking about 3-4 points which are very important for us. There are more points, but what is the important? So first is landslide zonation. So there should be zonation. Then there is infrastructure development, then community participation, and then there is mitigation strategy, right? Use of technology, and then there should be help in case of landslide easily. So these are the some of the points. Then there is National Disaster Management Authority 2009 guidelines, which ask for the hazard donation mapping, structural stabilization techniques like retaining structures, slope correction, plantation of trees, all those things. Then landslide early warning system, LEWS, for the Indian Himalayas by the IIT Mandi for the daily warning. And then application of persistent scattered synthetic aperture radar, PSIN SAR, informatory technique to track the ground deformation and the displacement, so it can give idea of the upcoming landslide and can take the various measures to mitigate it. So these are the various causes of landslide in India in various regions, particularly Western Ghats and Himalayan region, particularly in the northwestern Himalayan region, and various measures taken by the government to mitigate these things. Right. Now we'll see the previous year questions asked regarding it. So UPSC have asked the question related to it multiple times. Please see this question of 2021. Describe the various causes and the effects of landslide. We have already seen it in the our discussion. Mention the important components of the national landslide risk management strategy, as we already discussed it. And please try to draw the diagram when we are writing such answer. I have given you one of the diagram when I was discussing the landslide causes in the Himalayan region, right? Then see this second question. Determine the causes of the landslides in the Himalayan region and the Western Ghats. We have covered it directly in our discussion, so please go through it. And the Himalayas are likely prone to landslides. Discuss the causes, suggest suitable measures of mitigation. So this is also discussed by us. So I will recommend you to write these answers so that it will give you some practice of writing the answer for the main, right? So this is all about the first main news. Now we'll see the second main news of the day. And second main news of the day is regarding the artificial intelligence in the modern warfare. So we all know that technology have been a two-way sword. That is, the technology can be used for the constructive purposes and can be used for the destructive purposes also. So we'll see that, but this topic becomes very important for GS paper 3, that is science and technology development and its application, and GS paper 4, that is value ethics. And in this thing we'll see why war is treated as the instrument of the diplomacy and why it is not correct, right? And we'll also see why artificial intelligence is not advisable in the warfare and what are the ethical concerns regarding it, right? So what is the development? So the development is that there is debate that from Cold War's ideological and nuclear arms race to the 21st century's autonomous weapons and algorithmic warfare, that is because of the artificial intelligence, is reshaping the modern warfare. So the war is very important in the political arrangement of the evolved humankind. Please see this statement. War is diplomacy by the other means. Karl von Clausewitz. So he is saying that the war is diplomacy by the other means. So it is the matter of policy. And Clausewitz was the Prussian general, and he is very famous for his philosophy on the war. So he is studied globally for his philosophy on the war, and he says that it is a part of diplomacy. So war is the part of diplomacy. See this second statement of by the Napoleon Hill. he was the American writer, and he says war grows out of the desire of the individual to gain the advantages at the expense of his fellow men. So war is basically to achieve the desires over the expense of other fellow men. So it is also very important. And this third statement, all war is symptom of man's failure as thinking animal. So this is by the John Steinbeck. He was also American writer, right? So please see these statements. This first statement was asked by the UPSC in the examination directly, and you had to comment on it. So, and that is why I was asking, I was saying that it is very important to understand the ethical aspect of the war. So in this statement you have to write why and how war is medium of diplomacy, and then you can also write why war is not advisable as the means of diplomacy, right? These two statements are very important, and you can quote this statement when there will be a question related to it. Now we'll see the evolution of the wars. So we may know that from the first urbanization, that is around the Harappan civilization, IVC, and there was use of the metals, and because of the use of the metals, these metals were used for the creation of the weapons. So there are some evidences that Harappan might have been attacked by the outsider tribes, and they might have used the weapons. So this is the first instance when the warfare was evolving due to the technology. Then second urbanization, that was around the first BC, and around this time there was use of chariots and other means such as arrows, spears. It also developed the warfare. Then third urbanization, and it was around the advent of the Turks, Afghans in India, right? And they brought the various technologies which were not known to Indians, and which were those technologies such as saddles. So saddles are the footrest on the horses, and you can be stabilized, and you can uh, use the horses more effectively in the warfare. So use of saddles, then gunpowder. So this was the also evolution of the warfare with the third urbanization, right? Then comes the first industrial revolution, and first industrial revolution brought the various techniques such as railways, telegram. All these technologies actually helped the movement of the soldiers. Then there was sophisticated machinery, the use of guns, and all those started after the first industrial revolution. Then second industrial revolution, and in second industrial revolution these weapons become more sophisticated. Then there were tanks, right? Such kind of things got evolved, and there were more violence. Then third industrial revolution, such as use of electronics, advanced planes, etc. So this is how it started evolving. Then also toxic gases, nuclear bombs, all those things, right? And now we are in the industrial revolution 4.0, and this industrial revolution 4.0 is defined by the artificial intelligence, such as autonomous vehicles, and then various things such as cyber crimes or cyber attacks, bots, then various viruses, all those things are evolving. The main example is Stuxnet. So it was the malware, and this malware used by the Israel to destroy the uranium enrichment program of the Iran. And it is said that this also affected India's communication satellites and their atomic clocks. So this is the evolution of the warfare, and we are right now using the AI in the warfare, and we have seen the evolution. You can write such things in your essay also. Now we'll see how AI is reshaping the modern warfare. So first point is AI enabled battlefield awareness. So AI platform integrates data from satellites, radar, sensors, social media to form the digital kill web to compress engagement time, such as Ukraine's Delta platform. Then real-time data analysis to process huge amount of data for the surveillance systems, such as Project Maven of the US initiative to analyze the large quantities of surveillance data. And then there is Minture warfare, that is AI and human commanders operate as an integrated combat network, such as YFQ-44A Fury, and AI-enabled collaborative combat aircraft of USA. And then intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. AI analyzes the massive data set to track enemy movement, predict behavior, such as Lavender AI system used by the Hamas targets. So AI is used by the three ways, and that is offensive, defensive, and assistant. So how offensive? So it is directly used as the weapon, such as drones or drone swarms. Then defensive. So how defensive? So it can give you strategies how to avoid the various viruses or the targets on the critical infrastructure in any specific country. And how it is assistant? So it helps in intelligence gathering, surveillance, and also it helps to analyze the data and give the strategy. So this is how it is helping in modern warfare, three types, right? So this is about how AI is reshaping the modern warfare. Then we'll see the various initiatives taken by India to integrate AI in the defense system. So firstly, evaluating trustworthy artificial intelligence framework and guidelines. So these were launched by the Chief of Defense Staff to promote the responsible AI adoption in the armed forces in India. Then AI-based crime and threat prediction. So it uses the Anant advisory network analysis tool developed by the BEL for the predictive intelligence and the attack forecasting. Then there is Project Seeker, that is AI-enabled system developed by the Indian Army for intelligence, garrison security, and population monitoring. And then AI Task Force. So this task force was strategic implementation of AI for the National Security and Defense Task Force, chaired by C. Chandrasekharan. So these names are very important, these initiatives are very important, and please try to write such points when question is asked regarding it. So what India needs to do to adopt AI in the warfare? So basically adopt AI battlefield platforms, then enable autonomous drone swarms and develop such swarms in India by the R&D, by the investing money in such technologies. Then enhance space-based technologies such as satellite, then navigation, and then reconnaissance to improve the AI use in the warfare. Then defense technology investment, then expand drone inventory. So these are the some of the steps India can take to adopt AI in the warfare, at least in the defensive and the assistant purposes, if not in the offensive purposes, because of the various issues related to the AI in the offensive warfare. right? So this is about the AI in the warfare. Now we'll see the related question about it. So please see this question. The question is related to the with the present state of development of the artificial intelligence can effectively do which of the following. Please remember this question was in 2020. So bring down the electricity consumption in the industrial units, create meaningful short stories and songs, diagnosis, take uh, wireless transmission of the electrical energy. So please remember that this create meaningful short stories and songs was not possible in 2020 for the AI, but it is possible now. So the answer was B, that is 1, 3 and 4. But if the question is asked in today's context, so the answer will be 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? So this is how AI is evolving, right? So this is the one question. Then see this question: introduce the concept of artificial intelligence. How does AI help clinical diagnosis? Do you perceive any threat to privacy of individual in the use of AI in the healthcare? So here you have to ask, you have been asked about the AI in the healthcare, and you can write AI application in healthcare such as pre-diagnosis. Then you can also write it can assist the various areas such as where there are a lack of medical professionals, right? So you can write the answer, and then you can give various measures. So there was AI summit, and India have launched various initiative for the AI in healthcare. So you can take the various initiatives launched by the India in India AI summit, and please write those points in this answer, right? Then see this question: the use of unmanned aerial vehicles by our adversaries across the border to ferry arms, ammunition, drugs, etc. is a serious threat to internal security. Comment on the measures being taken to tackle this threat. So please try to write this answer, so you will have the practice to write the answers in this direction. Please remember this question is related to border management, so please bring those points also in your answer, right? So this is all about this news. Now we'll see the next main news of the day, and next main news of the day is regarding the third India Australia annual summit 2026, and this is very important for GS paper 2, that is bilateral agreements involving India. So Indian Prime Minister is on the official visit to the Australia and also Indonesia. The regarding Indonesia, we'll cover it in the separate main news. But on Indian Prime Minister's visit to Australia, leaders decided to fast track the work on the Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement (CECA) and shift from 3 C's. And what are those 3 C's? Cricket, curry, and Commonwealth to 4 D's, that is democracy, defense, diaspora, and dosti. So please try to write such catchy words in your answers when you are writing answer, and these are the official words, so you can obviously use them, right? Then please see that also India Australia partnership on cyber critical technologies and the supply chains pacts will replace the 2020 framework arrangement on the cyber enabled critical technology cooperation. So there are 5 pillars in the pacts, and which are those 5 pillars? Firstly, supply chain resilience, right? Then critical technology, then cyber security, then defense cooperation, and then digital resilience. So these are the 5 pillars, and you can write these 5 pillars in your answer. So this is the development. Now we'll see various agreements signed by the India and the Australia. And the first agreement is related to civil nuclear agreement arrangement, and it was operationalized in 2015, and it enables the commercial export of Australian uranium to India for peaceful purposes and the clean energy. In this regard, you have to remember that India has signed the civil nuclear agreement with more than 12 countries, and we have signed the agreement with the country which have the large amount of reserves of the uranium. So please write down the name of the country which have the large amount of uranium reserves. Australia is not having the large amount of reserve. Please remember that. So the answer is not Australia. And then there is defense and maritime security. So joint declaration on defense and security cooperation has been signed, and it will renew the 2009 security declaration focusing on the force interoperability, then capacity building and defense industrial collaboration. Then other things such as maritime security collaboration roadmap have been signed, and then Indian military instructor at Australian Defence College for the 2028-2029, right? Then in space and technology, Australia, Canada, India technology and innovation ACI CT MOU have been signed. Then in space cooperation, Australians support India's Gaganyaan program with the temporary space tracking terminal on the Cocos Killing Islands. Please remember this name, which is very important, can be asked in the UPSC. It is in Australia, right? So these are the 3 areas. Now we'll see the next area, that is education and skilling. And for that, foreign university campuses in India. So letter of intent for Flinders University, Bengaluru, and the Victoria University, Gurugram. So they will have these campuses in the Bengaluru and Gurugram. Then Center of Excellence in Mining will be established at the National Skill Training Institute in Bhubaneswar to train students in mining operations and machinery. So Australia have the most efficient mining and most eco-sensitive mining operations. So it will help in mining operations in India also. Then culture and heritage. So repatriation of antiquities and return of the 3 11th and 12th century artifacts such as stone Nandi, bronze trident of Bhadrakali and stone Kartikeya will be given to India. Then traditional knowledge digital library TKDL. AI Australia to get access to TKDL database to prevent erroneous patents on the traditional knowledge. Then in sport diplomacy, India Australia sport collaboration roadmap have been signed, and then support for 2036 Olympic bid. Australian Prime Minister announced Australia's backing for India's bid to host the 2036 Olympic game. So these are the development in these 6 areas, and these developments are very important. The question was asked related to the development regarding the France president visit in India in January 2026. So it is also very important. Please remember these points, and question can be asked regarding it. Right. Now we will see the previous year question asked on it. Consider the following countries: Australia, Canada, China, India, Japan, USA. Which of the above are among the free trade partners of ASEAN? And please remember that there are 6 partners. USA and Canada are not partners. So Australia, China, then India, and then Japan. C is the correct answer. Then South Korea and New Zealand, these are also partners. So this is the answer. Then see this question: Quad is transforming itself into a trade bloc from a military alliance in present times. Discuss. So Quad is the quadrilateral alliance between India, USA, then Australia, and you have to write fourth member. And the quad is transforming itself from military alliance to the trade bloc, right? So the fourth member is Japan. So please write the answer why they are saying that we are transferring ourselves from the military bloc to the trade bloc. In this, we have to discuss how we are also achieving the military targets and how we are also leveraging this block for the trade. So this is about it. You can write the answer and try to write the answer by yourself, right? I hope it is clear to you. Now we'll see the next main news, and the next main news is regarding the urban floods. So there is red alert given by the IMD all over the India, and various urban centers are part of it, and we'll discuss why there are flooding in the urban areas more frequently than the other areas. This becomes very important for GS paper 3, that is disaster management, and it is also important for GS paper 1 also, that is urbanization. The question have been asked many times in recent years, and that is why this topic becomes very important. This year also there is huge floods in various cities in India, such as Pune, Delhi, and other cities, and that is why please remember that the question can be asked this year also, right? So we have already seen what is the development. There is huge flooding in the cities such as Delhi, Surat, and there is disruption in the normal life of the people, right? There is also huge loss to the GDP, and it is also become the one of the aspect and the concern for the India, because it is hampering the development, right? So what is the urban flooding? So urban flooding is the temporary inundation of the land and property in the urban areas caused by the excessive runoff overwhelming the drainage system, and it differs from the rural flooding. As urbanization increase, the flood peaks by 1.8 to 8 times, as flow volumes by up to 6 times as per the NDMA. And what are the impact? So displacement, loss of life and property, damages to the critical infrastructure such as power, water supply, also education, then public health hazards such as waterborne diseases, then contamination, environmental degradation such as pollution of the water bodies, etc. So this is regarding the urban flooding. Now we'll see the various causes of the urban flooding, and this have been asked couple of times in the UPSC. The first cause is extreme rainfall and the climate change, right? Due to the climate change, there is huge rainfall in the short amount of time, and it is causing the flooding. That is the one aspect. High intensity rainfall, cloud burst, and the changing monsoon patterns, etc., is causing the floods. And the example is Mumbai floods in 2005. You can also give the examples such as Noida, Gurgaon floods last year, then Delhi this year. So you can give various examples. Then unplanned urbanization, rapid concentration and the expansion of the impervious surfaces reduces the infiltration and the increases the surface runoff, because there is no direct soil or the area where there can be water can seep in the earth surface. So there is concrete, there are roads, and there is various infrastructure, so this water actually increases the runoff, right? Then encroachment on the natural drainage and water bodies. So encroachment of the lakes, wetlands, floodplains, and the storm water drains, such as Bengaluru has lost 65 lakes in the last 2 decades. And when there will be a rain, so the water will have the tendency to go to the natural water bodies, but there are no water bodies there. So what will happen? There will be flood like situation, because you have encroach on the natural water bodies, right? Then inadequate storm water drainage. So poorly designed, undersized and poorly maintained drainage systems often clog with the solid waste, and because there is no such maintenance, so there will be a saturation of water, and there can be a catastrophic disasters, right, such as human life also can be lost. Then poor urban water management, such as sudden release of the water from the reservoirs, dams and the loss of natural catchments, such as 2015 Chennai floods. Then there is also one of the aspects such as high tide and the huge rain, particularly in Mumbai, due to the high tide and the huge rain combined with each other, and it created the huge floods in the Mumbai, because the capacity of the river was limited by due to the high tide, and the water could not be passed efficiently through the rivers to the ocean and sea, and there was a huge floods in the Mumbai, right. So these are the some of the points. Now we'll see the way forward regarding it. So what is the way forward? So first is data driven forecasting and mapping. So firstly, enhance technology and early warning, such as Doppler radars, then real time monitoring, and then deploy GIS mapping. So it will create citywide contours map, drainage inventories and flood hazard zones to guide the risk assessment. Then integrated nature-based infrastructure, such as upgrade grey infrastructure. What is the grey infrastructure? Modernize storm water drain, then ensure the regular desilting and clear structural encroachments, and then adopt eco-sensitive planning, such as implement watershed-based drainage systems and China's sponge city. What is the concept of sponge city? So it creates permeable pavements, green roofs, and the rain gardens so that water can be absorbed more efficiently. Then institutional governance preparedness, such as strengthening management, dedicated urban flood cells, and localized disaster management plans for the urban areas, such as local level, such as for the Mumbai or the Delhi or the Chennai, so that they can efficiently manage the floods in the areas of their perspective jurisdiction, right. So this is about it. Now we'll see the previous year question. Please see, there was question regarding it in 2016, and it was in the GS paper 1 also and GS paper 3 also, right. The same way in 2021 the landslide question was asked in the GS paper 1 also and GS paper 3 also. So UPSC can ask the question related to one topic in the multiple papers. So that is why it becomes very important to prepare it very carefully. Account for the huge flooding of the million cities in the India, including the smart ones like Hyderabad and Pune, suggest lasting remedial measures. We have given the reasons and also the measures or the way forward, right. Then the frequency of the urban floods due to the high intensity rainfall is increasing over the years. Discussing the reasons, we have already discussed the reasons for the urban flood. Highlight the mechanisms for preparedness to reduce the risk during the such events. We have also discussed the way forward and the various steps which need to be taken. Then with reference to the National Disaster Management Authority NDMA guidelines, discuss the measures to be adopted to mitigate the impact of the recent incident of the cloudburst in the many places of the Uttarakhand, right. So this is not directly regarding the urban floods, but you can also write this answer so that you can have the knack of writing answers related to disaster management. I hope it is clear to you. Now we'll see the next main update. The next main news is related to the Prime Minister's visit to the Indonesia. And it is also very important for the GS paper 2, that is bilateral agreements involving India, right. So Prime Minister is on the visit of the Indonesia, Australia and New Zealand, and there will be many agreements which will be important. So we'll cover those agreements. And regarding Indonesia, we have signed various agreements regarding the defense, economic and Indo-Pacific cooperation. So we'll see that what are those main aspects of these agreements, right? So what are the key outcomes? Please see. Firstly, regarding the defense export. So India will supply BrahMos missile, supersonic cruise missile and Astra systems to the Indonesia. Then digital education. So launch the Indonesia Open Network ION based on India's ONDC architecture. Then thirdly, critical minerals. So MOU was signed for the rare earth magnet development to secure resilient critical mineral supply chains. Then for agriculture, commitment to supply 100 tons of the high quality DWR 162 feet seeds. Then connectivity, partnering on the integrated development of the Sabang port situated near the Strait of Malacca linking Andaman and Nicobar with the Sumatra. Please remember this Sabang port, the question can directly ask. Then space cooperation, the framework agreement on the cooperation in exploration and use of outer space for the peaceful purposes. So the extension of this agreement was also key outcome. And then cultural diplomacy. So Prime Minister received the Bintang Adi Purna Civilian Award, and this is the I think 34th award received by the Prime Minister all over the various countries. Then initiated the joint conservation of Prambanan temple. So please remember this temple also, and question can ask, and it is in Indonesia. Then commemoration of 2027 Tagore Devandara Year of Cultural and Education Diplomacy, and it will be of 2027. So these are the key outcomes of the Prime Minister to the Indonesia, and why Indonesia is important for India. So firstly, historical links. So for the centuries old maritime, Buddhist and Hindu civilizational connections are there, founding the members of the Bandung Conference of 1955 and the non-alignment movement. So we were part of the non-alignment movement, and we have the ancient trade routes and also political connections. Then diaspora, around 1.5 lakh people of Indian origin contribute to the business, education and culture of Indonesia. Then trade, Indonesia is India's second largest trading partner of ASEAN. Bilateral trade exceeds $30 billion per year, right? Then defense, armies Garuda Shakti and navies Samudra Shakti coordinated patrols, Indo-INDO corporate and growing defense industrial cooperation. Then strategic importance, located near the Strait of Malacca, Indonesia is central to India's Act East policy, then Mahasagar vision and the Indo-Pacific strategy, and that is why Indonesia becomes very important, right? Now please see this question. Consider the following countries: Brunei Darussalam, then East Timor, then Laos. Which of the above are the members of the ASEAN? So this question was asked in 2009, and back then East Timor was not part of the ASEAN. So back then the East Timor was not part, right? But right now East Timor have become the part of ASEAN. So ASEAN will have the 11 members now, and East Timor is the 11th member. So please remember this, that ASEAN have the 11 members now and East Timor is also part of it. Then see this question, explain the formation of thousands of islands in the Indonesian and Pacific archipelago. archipelago, and this is due to the ring of fire in the Pacific Ocean. And you have to write about the ring of fire in this question. Indian diaspora has an important role to play in Southeast Asian countries economy and society. Apprise the role of Indian diaspora in the Southeast Asia in this context, right? So you have to write the answer regarding the ASEAN and India's contribution in the ASEAN, right? So this is all about the main news of the day. Now we'll see the personality in the news. And today's personality is Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. And why Shyama Prasad Mukherjee is in news? Because Prime Minister paid the tribute to Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee on his 125th birth anniversary. Now we'll see the contributions of the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. So before we see contribution, let us see about his life. So he was born in Calcutta and qualified as the barrister in 1926 and became youngest vice chancellor of the Calcutta University in 1934 at the age of 33. Then elected to the Bengal Legislative Council in 1929. What are his key contribution? Played humanitarian role during the Bengal famine of 1943. Then served as the Minister for the Industry and Supply in Jawaharlal Nehru's cabinet. Then he was given the title the Lion of Parliament. In 1940, became the acting president of the All India Hindu Mahasabha. Then founded Bharatiya Jansangh in 1951 and its first president was also Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. Then member of the Constituent Assembly from the West Bengal, and his key literary works are autobiographical lives from the diary, a phase of the Indian struggle, etc. Right. So this is all about the personality in news, that is Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. Now we'll see the quick updates of this week. So the first quick update of this week is related to the Global Passport Index. And what is the development? India's ranking in the Global Passport Index have been fallen one rank from last year to 125th spot, right? And let us see about the Global Passport Index. So it evaluates how effectively passport enables citizens to travel, invest, live securely and access global opportunities. And it is published by the Global Citizen Solutions, and it is covers 200 countries. Uses three core pillars, that is enhanced mobility, investment potential and the quality of life, and 15 indicators to access passport strength. So this is all about the first quick update. Now we'll see the second quick update, and second quick update is regarding the Hayabusa 2 mission. What is the Hayabusa 2 mission? So it is the Japan's mission, and it performed the successful flyby of an asteroid during its extended mission. So let us see about the Hayabusa 2 mission of the Japan. So Japan's asteroid sample return mission, developed by the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, that is JAXA, and asteroids are the small rocky metallic bodies that orbit the sun, primarily found in the asteroid belt between the Mars and the Jupiter. So the asteroid belt is between the Mars and the Jupiter primarily, right? Then this Hayabusa 2 was launched on 3rd December 2014 and returned asteroid samples to the Earth on 6th December 2020. And it explored the Venus asteroid Ryugu, right? So please remember this name. And since then it has been on the extended mission to reach a new target, the asteroid 1998 KY26 in July 2031, and the first mission to deploy the rovers on an asteroid also. Please note that Orisis REX is the NASA's asteroid sample return mission that returned samples from the asteroid Bennu in 2023. So it also becomes very important this in this context, right? So this is the second quick update of the day. Now we'll see the third quick update of the day, and the third quick update of the day is regarding the Guwahati Declaration. And what is the Guwahati Declaration? So BRICS nation have adopted the Guwahati Declaration to combat the drug trafficking, right? And what is the purpose of this declaration? So this declaration strengthens the cooperation against the transnational organized crimes and illicit drug trafficking. Then information and technology exchange. So it strengthens the intelligence sharing, data driven approaches and innovative technologies to combat the drug trafficking. Then reducing the drug demand. So it promotes initiative for the drug demand reduction and promote healthy lifestyle, right? So this is about the Guwahati Declaration. Now we'll see the next quick update. Next quick update is regarding the TRIBEX. And what is the TRIBEX? So Ministry of Tribal Affairs have launched the TRIBEX. And what is the TRIBEX? It is the first of its kind digital learning platform for the India's tribal art, culture and traditional knowledge systems. What is the objective of the TRIBEX? To develop a comprehensive platform that facilitates structured learning, scholarly research and digital documentation of the tribal art forms and the cultural practices. It offers 5 UGC recognized 1-year hybrid diploma programs, including the courses in the tribal language Santhali, that is Olchiki, right? So Olchiki was a news. So please remember that it is related to Santhali, right? This is the Olchiki is the script, right? So this is the quick update regarding the TRIBEX. Now we'll see the next quick update. Next quick update regarding the Pandavani. And what is the Pandavani? So the President and the Prime Minister expressed grief over the demise of the renowned Pandavani singer Tejan Bai. And please remember that Tejan Bai was the only person from the Chhattisgarh to have been awarded the Padma Vibhushan. So that is why Tejan Bai becomes very important. And now we'll see about the Pandavani. So Pandavani is the traditional narrative folk art from the which originate from the Chhattisgarh. Then it is rooted in the ancient Indian epic, that is Mahabharata, and combine music, narration and the dialogue and dramatic acting. So it have all. Then it have the two main styles, the Vedamati and then Kapalik. So in Vedamati, the narrator known as the Vedamati recite the stories playing the musical instrument called the bumbo, a string instrument. So the bumbo is the string instrument, and then Kapalik, it evolves as the solo performance where the artist not only narrates but also enacts the different characters of the epic, and this is the solo. See, Kapalik and Vedamati. So this is about the Pandavani folk art. Now we'll see the next quick update, and next quick update is regarding the PM Setu. And what is the development? Center have approved the nationwide rollout of Pradhan Mantri Skilling and Employability Transformation through the upgraded ITIs, that is PM Setu. And it is the centrally sponsored scheme launched by the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship in 2025, and it is launched by the MSDE, right? What is the objective? To transform Industrial Training Institute ITIs into modern industry-driven skill development institutions that prepare youth for the emerging job opportunities. And what are the key features? So it will upgrade the 1,000 government ITIs, right? Then it will establish the special purpose vehicles with the industry partnership, and then performance link funding and the co-financing by the ADB and the World Bank, Asian Development Bank and the World Bank, and then state-of-the-art infrastructure, advanced machinery and digital learning systems. So this is about the PM Setu. This is all about this week's weekly roundup. To read about the current affairs, you can visit our digital current affairs portal, where you can read various current affair magazines such as Monthly Magazine, then also PT 365, main 365. Then you can solve various quizzes and also share the articles with your friends. So this is all for this lecture. I hope it help in your study. Have a nice day. Happy learning.